Hey, what's up, YouTube? Another week here in the shop. Let's take a look at what we're going to work on today. Got this early two-door JK. Going to be putting a new top on this Jeep. The top that's on it is absolutely roached, completely fried. All the zippers are torn. The back window's taped up. Absolutely at the end of its life. So I've got a new unused original top off of a two-door JK that I had from another project. So I'm going to put that on here in a few minutes and show you the after product of that. And then we've also got this JKU in the shop that we're going to be putting a valve cover gasket on. This Jeep's been in a couple of times, done some service work and some routine maintenance, and as well as some improvements over the years. And it's got a small leak that we've traced down to a passenger side valve cover gasket. So we're going to knock that out today too, and I'll update you as we go along. All right, guys, got the top on. Was mistaken. I thought it was an OE Jeep top. Turns out it's actually a Best Top Super Top. So it's got the flip back portion for the Sunrider in the front. It's a super good condition top. It has been used, but probably less than one season. All of the zippers, the windows, or everything are in great condition. Of course, you can see it's really wrinkled up from being in storage for so long. It came off of a 2015 Jeep, so it's likely been in storage for several years indoors. But once it gets out in the sun and the sun works on it a little bit, it'll tighten the windows up. Of course, if you are familiar with JKs, this seam right here is always fun to deal with, getting that wrapped around. And once the windows, once they stretch out and get a little warmer and a little bit more pliable, it'll be easier to get that in there. But compared to the duct tape top that this Jeep had before, the customer should be really excited to be able to put his doors back on and actually stay dry in the rain. All right, on to the valve cover gasket. And one more thing on this Jeep, decided to do a third brake light delete. Tennessee state law says must work if present. And this particular one, the third brake light was broken. The stem and the lens were both broken. So decided to put one that I had in stock on there. It's a cleaner look. It's less of an obstacle when you're getting in and out of the back window on these. So I went ahead and did that. Also have a new tire being mounted on the spare wheel. Customer had a matching set and hit something on the interstate and cut a sidewall. So I've got a brand new matching tire being mounted as we speak to go in there and button this one up. All right, on to the valve cover now. All right, guys, tearing into this one to do this valve cover gasket. I had a small drip coming off of this back corner, and unfortunately when it drips directly on the exhaust. And when it drips on the exhaust, you get a little puff of smoke. And then when you've got your AC or your heater on, as that smoke comes up, it pulls it right in through the cowl, and you get that smell of smoke inside. So originally thought this was a valve cover gasket that was leaking down here on the corner. This is actually, I've had this one apart about 2 years ago, put a new rocker in it. And when I got it apart this time, I actually see that it is a spark plug tube seal that's actually causing the leak, which we've got to pull the valve cover off anyway to repair that. So we're obviously going to go ahead and put a new valve cover gasket on, and I'll show you that when we get it apart. But it's always nice to find the actual problem when you're doing a repair, rather than just shooting in the dark. So glad to find that. When I get it apart, I'll give you a look inside the valve cover and inside the engine at the rockers, and we'll go from there. All right, guys, got the valve cover off. These are the spark plug tubes that I was talking about before. It was number 3 that was leaking around the seal that goes right around there that's in the valve cover. So I got the valve cover off, got the surface all cleaned up. Went ahead and pulled the old valve cover gasket out. It's just like a basically like a formed O-ring style that goes in there. And now I'm going to remove the spark plug tube seals and we'll put in new ones. All right, guys, so here's the old seal out of the valve cover. Obviously they've been in there for a while. Here's the new seal. It actually goes from the bottom side of the valve cover. It actually goes in like this because you want this tapered seat to nestle down over the spark plug tubes. So it's actually gonna go on to the spark plug tube like this once the valve cover is installed, and it'll make that seal once it all pulls down. So what we do, we drive them out with a screwdriver from the top side, and then from the bottom side we take, I've got an 1 1/8" chrome socket, and you set them in place, and then you just take a hammer and lightly tap them in, and you'll feel it bottom out and seat in the valve cover. So I've got all 3 of those in for this passenger side valve cover of a 2015. I'm going to go ahead and put the gasket on now and take a look at that. All right, guys, set the new valve cover gasket in place. I wanted to let you know that these are right and left specific. A driver side valve cover gasket will not fit a passenger side valve cover, unlike older cars that were stamped and universal side per side. So this is definitely a passenger side valve cover gasket. They do come in a kit. I like the Felpro kit. It seems to be all-inclusive with the spark plug seals and all of the O-rings and everything involved. So it's a great setup. I'm going to put just a little dab of silicone on both of these blocks as it is from the factory. Give that a few minutes to just start to set up, and go ahead and reinstall the valve cover. All right, got the valve cover all back on, got the coil packs in, went ahead and put the new seal on the cam sensor as well. So now we'll drop the battery box back in and get this thing put back together, fire it up, and make sure it's not leaking. All right, guys, got it all back together. Got everything buttoned up, started it, let it run. It's dry as a bone now, no leaks, no drips, so customer should be very happy. While it was here, went ahead and pulled out some yellowed, faded LED headlights that had been in it for a couple of years, about 3 years, and I had to replace those with a new set that I keep in stock. And these have the daytime running light feature built into them, so a good set of crisp, clean LED headlights to finish off the package. All right, guys, I appreciate you watching. Kind of went through step by step on doing that valve cover gasket replacement on the JKU, as well as putting a new soft top on that JK. So a couple updates for this week. Tune in next Saturday for another video, and I appreciate you watching as always. Thanks. Have a great day.